Are you tired of feeling constantly drained by the people in your life? That relentless emotional exhaustion, the feeling like you're always giving and getting nothing in return. It's a silent battle many of us are fighting. And what if I told you that you are not alone? And more importantly, this doesn't have to be your reality. It's understandable to feel lost and hopeless when you are in that situation, especially when you have given a lot of yourself, but there is always a way out. But what if you could turn the tables? What if you could not just survive these energy-draining interactions, but actually reclaim your power and cultivate inner peace, regardless of how toxic those around you might be? Imagine that you don't have to change others or to make them understand your needs. You just focus on your own well-being, and that brings you the peace you seek. In this video, we're going to arm you with the wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that provides shockingly relevant, life-changing solutions to navigate these situations. We'll break down the key Stoic principles, showing you how to spot toxicity, manage your reactions, and set boundaries to protect yourself. But here's the most crucial part. While all the steps are important, it is step 6 that holds the power to truly transform your situation. Ignoring step 6 will keep you trapped. In step 6, we review the essential perspective shift that could finally give you the control and peace you seek. This might be the part you've never heard before, the missing piece that stops the drain for good. It's the key to understanding the whole puzzle, and once you see it, everything will start to make sense. We'll move from recognizing manipulation to reclaiming your power, everything to be liberated and reclaim your energy. We tend to focus on the obvious signs of a toxic relationship: shouting, name-calling, overt aggression. We often think that if someone isn't screaming at us, they must be okay to be around. And that's where a lot of the toxicity starts, under the guise of normal behavior. But true toxicity is far more insidious. It operates beneath the surface. It is more of a slow poison than blatant violence. It's more like a relationship virus that can silently infect and undermine our minds. These relationship viruses spread through subtle jabs, constant belittling, and emotional manipulation, eroding our self-esteem, our belief in ourselves, our self-worth. Think of it like a leaky tap. It's just small drops, but over time, a lot of water is wasted. This is not a mere case of bad behavior. It's a consistent undermining of your core being. Unlike a healthy dynamic that encourages growth and joy, toxic relationships thrive by draining your energy and reinforcing your self-doubts. And more importantly, it reinforces your self-worth as dependent on external validation, instead of it being dependent on you. It makes you doubt yourself, question your perceptions, and start believing that their view of you is the real you. The more you interact with toxic people, the more you start to believe in the lies they keep telling you. Identifying these viruses is not an act of blame, but a courageous first step toward reclaiming your well-being. You cannot heal what you cannot see, and more importantly, you cannot change others. You can only change your relationship with them. This journey requires self-awareness, a deep understanding of what is acceptable and what is undermining your peace. It's about having the courage to look at yourself, your interactions, and to make decisions that serve you first. It's hard, but essential. To combat these toxic viruses, we need a form of mental armor, something that protects our thoughts and emotions from being infected. And surprisingly, this armor comes from the ancient world, with principles that have stood the test of time. The first shield is the dichotomy of control. This is the realization that you can't control what others do, but you can control how you respond, your thoughts, your actions. It is the acceptance that you cannot control the external battlefield, but you can control your own self within it, and that is the real victory. It's the shift from feeling like a victim to becoming an active participant in your own life. It's understanding that your power lies in your response, not in other people's actions. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Next, we have virtue as the sole good. This is the inner compass, your own North Star. It means focusing on your own character, your own values. How can you be a more compassionate, courageous, just, and wise person, regardless of the toxicity of others? Ask yourself, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to behave? Start acting according to those principles, no matter how challenging the environment you are in. It's about choosing to live in alignment with your core values, not with the chaos around you. Then there is the shield of emotional regulation. Stoicism isn't about repressing emotions, but about understanding them. It's about learning to observe your anger and fear, choosing a thoughtful, virtuous response instead of an impulsive reaction. When you feel that flood of emotion, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is it going to serve me if I react this way? Will it serve my higher values? Will it make me stronger? Or will it simply add fuel to the fire? Will it keep you in a pattern of reaction and emotional dependence? And finally, the shield of acceptance. Accepting that you cannot change others and choosing to detach from the need for their validation, focusing on what you value in your life. That is liberation. It's understanding that other people's opinions are not facts. They are just that, opinions. You get to decide what matters and who you want to be. These principles are not just academic concepts, they are the foundations of a resilient mind. They are your arsenal for the battle of life, especially in toxic battles. They are your armor. You have the power to protect your inner peace if you choose to use these tools. We have our armor. Now we need to execute the strategic moves. These aren't just rules, they are the actions that will allow you to regain control in the battlefield. Here are the 5 key steps you need to put into motion right away. Step 1. Acknowledge the battlefield. Recognize and accept that you are in a toxic dynamic. This means gathering intel, assessing your circumstances, and taking stock of what is happening around you. This is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. To be able to admit that you are in a difficult situation and make a conscious decision to move away from it. It's about being honest with yourself about the reality of your situation, no matter how difficult it may seem. You cannot win a war if you do not know the state of your own army. You need to accept what is and plan accordingly, and that requires you to stop pretending that everything is okay when it is not. Step 2. Deploy boundaries. Like fortifications that protect your base, create clear lines that the toxic influence cannot cross. This is not about limiting actions, but limiting their influence over your emotional state. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your sanity and emotional health. Start by identifying what drains your energy, and then put in measures to limit contact and limit the power these people have over you. It can be anything from limiting the time spent with them to completely severing ties. Learn to say no without explanation, knowing that you are allowed to prioritize your well-being and your energy. You do not owe anyone your time, your energy, or your emotional health. Step 3. Regulate your emotions. You are your most important asset on this field. When a storm hits, you need to learn to observe and calm your reactions. This takes time and practice, but it's a vital skill to develop. It's about learning not to be ruled by your emotions, but to be guided by your values. Instead of responding impulsively, pause and choose an action aligned with your values and character. Ask yourself, is my response aligning with the person I want to be? Is this reaction coming from a place of strength or a place of fear? Remember, the goal is not to stop feeling, but to learn to act with wisdom and not merely react. It's about learning to navigate the emotional storms and not getting swept away by them. Step 4. Focus on what you control. Turn the spotlight on your own actions and growth. Instead of trying to fix or change others, which is a losing battle, take steps to reinforce your inner values and work on becoming a stronger, wiser person. This is about taking responsibility for your own growth and seeing each challenge as an opportunity to learn and to grow stronger. What are your values? What makes you a good person? Focus on that and don't let them distract you from it, because your growth and your own values are the things that truly matter. Step 5, take conscious decisions. Evaluate your options with a calm and analytical mind. Is limiting contact the best action? Is removing yourself from the situation the most virtuous path forward for your growth and your well-being? The Stoic approach is not about rash decisions, but about thoughtful action with all the information you have at hand. It's about making decisions that align with your long-term well-being and growth, not decisions that just provide short-term relief. What decision will give you more peace? It may be uncomfortable, but in the long run, it will bring you closer to your goals and your values. And remember, you are not alone in this. You're not just reacting, you're actively reclaiming your life, step by strategic step. This journey is not going to be easy, but with these strategic moves, you are in command of what happens next. You decide what is best for you. You are taking control of your narrative and creating a life of peace and empowerment. You are not powerless. All the previous steps are essential, but this last step is the paradigm shift, the core change in perspective that unlocks lasting transformation. The problem is not them. It is that you are letting them control your inner peace and your reactions. The core here, the missing piece, is understanding that their behavior is a reflection of their inner state, not yours. And this must reflect in your conversations about them. Use you enough more than you use I when you speak to them. Ensure they are aware that they are being put on the spot and that the focus is on them. Their negativity does not diminish you. Their insults and their manipulations say more about them, not you. They are the way they are because of their own reasons, their own baggage. You are just getting to witness that, not be the recipient of it. This shift is not about simply ignoring their behavior. It's about separating their actions from your identity and from your own values. You are still worthy, lovable, and capable, no matter their behavior towards you. You do not need their validation. To be worthy, you already are. Furthermore, and this is the most important, to realize that these toxic people may unknowingly be giving you an opportunity, a gift, the gift of testing your values, your character, and goals. The more often you face negativity, the more resilient they become, and the more solid your identity and your goals grow. Each time you overcome their attacks, you grow stronger and closer to the person you want to be. This inner shift is not just an intellectual understanding, it's a complete internal transformation. It's about finding the place where these boundaries are no longer needed and to realize that you are not what other people think you are. Realizing that their negativity is actually giving you the opportunity to make your values, character, and goals more resilient. You are turning every obstacle into a step towards your true self. You are becoming the person you are meant to be. You have learned powerful tools, and now you are equipped to navigate life's challenges with wisdom, resilience, and grace. Remember, this isn't the end of your journey, but a new beginning. You've discovered the path to liberation. Now, it's time to walk it with courage and conviction. The journey ahead may have its trials, but you are now armed with the understanding, the strength, and the tools to face them head on and to come out stronger on the other side. Embrace this new chapter, knowing that you are capable of creating a life filled with inner peace and empowered purpose. Your story is not written in stone, and it's up to you to shape your own narrative. Start today by taking just one action that moves you towards a brighter tomorrow. Leave a comment below, sharing what your first step will be. Let others know they are not alone on this path, and that they too can find the strength within to make meaningful changes in their lives. If you found this video helpful, like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who could benefit from this message. Together, we can create a community of resilience and transformation.